So if you've ever seen any other videos about distracted driving, you know how they go. They're all about the don'ts. But you know I'm all about defensive driving. So that's how we're going to talk about this issue. When I teach my students, I say we almost don't fear the drunk driver anymore. There are drunks on the road, but for every one drunk driver out there, there's thousands of other distracted drivers around you. It goes from anywhere from mosquito swatting to phones to spilling drinks on the floor to friends. So that other driver in the lane next to you, behind you, in front of you, may be doing any one of these, and that puts your life at risk. A distracted driver is anywhere from 2 times up to 48 times more likely to crash, and they could be crashing into you. That's why this is a defensive driving issue for you.
Safe driving requires 100% of a driver's attention. That means all of these 3 kinds of attention: visual, mental, and physical. Visual distraction means a driver isn't looking at the road.
So let's do this demonstration. If you took your right hand and put it up here where you can see it, and then you took your left hand and you put it down, wiggling your fingers where you can barely see it, and then look down at your left hand, you can't see your top hand anymore. You can't see your top hand. That top hand is representing the road. So when that other guy looks down, that means he can't see what's going on around him. He's driving down the road totally blind, and you could be the one he's going to run into. I want you to assume you were stopped at a stop sign, and the other guy was looking down at that hand. I want you to close your eyes, and when I say open them, open them. Close your eyes. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Open your eyes. That's what the other guy just did, and you were stopped in front of him, and now we have a serious crash.
5 seconds is about how long the average person looks down at their phone when they're texting and driving. At highway speeds, that's enough time for their car to travel the length of an entire football field.
So does it make any sense that someone would drive the length of a football field blindfolded? I want you to know, anytime that person next to you is texting, that's exactly what's happening. They're driving the length of a football field without seeing you.
Mental distraction is also a problem. When a driver is thinking about something else while driving, that slows their reaction time. It also causes inattention blindness, which means the driver doesn't notice important visual information, like the brake lights of the car in front of them or a pedestrian stepping out into the street. Physical distraction is the 3rd kind of distracted driving.
So let's talk about the physical aspect of distracted driving. Of course, let's do it the right way. Our hands are at 8 and 4. My right foot's running the gas pedal and the brake, and my mind is 100% focused on my driving. The guy next to you all of a sudden sees stinging ants on the floor of his car. So what does he do with his left foot? While he's going 60 miles an hour, he starts stomping out the ants. As he's looking down, his phone rings, he reaches over, now he's got a phone conversation going, it's messing with his mind. In the middle of that, the sun comes out, so he needs to put his glasses on. Notice how long I've had my eyes off the road, my glasses are on, and in the middle of that, we'll take a sip of coffee. All of a sudden, we have a crash. You're the one that got in a serious crash because of his distractions, and you need to be disciplined that you don't do it, but more importantly, you need to become the best defensive driver you can, because somebody is out to change the way you live every day.
We know what distracted drivers, texting drivers, and impaired drivers do. They drift out of their lane. They don't use their turn signals. They brake suddenly. They don't maintain an even rate of speed. Often they drive slower than the traffic around them. They run through stop signs and red lights and T-bone people. They cross the center line and cause head-on collisions. They injure and kill bicycle riders and pedestrians. All of these are reasons to be alert anytime you're in a car.
So I want you to be part of the solution, not the problem. So when you're riding in a car, you need to make sure that driver's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that is concentrating 100% on their driving, because your life's in their hands.
Thousands of people die as riders in car crashes, and teenagers are especially at risk when riding with their friends.
You need to get paranoid when you are a rider in a car. You need to be protecting yourself at all times, and you need to make sure that driver is not distracted. It's your life. So the next thing is you have to understand that you cannot be the distraction inside that car. So you as the rider cannot be having emotional conversations, you cannot be having arguments. You are the co-pilot. Your eyes need to be moving with that driver. You can be pointing out the accident that's going to be happening that the driver might not be seeing, and that protects you. I like to use this statistic about the new driver. When their parents are in the car with them, they crash less than 1% of the time. Why? Because they have a great co-pilot. I want you to become that great co-pilot. So you're not going to be the distraction, you're always the co-pilot.
And when you're the driver, you need to protect yourself and your passengers by making the choice to not use your phone while driving.
So this phone has to be powered off while you're in the car. Why? Because it is our #1 distraction. I can tell you, as a crash investigator, you never want to come up to a scene where you have caused the accident because of this #1 killing machine we have, the phone. You never want to be the one to come up on the scene of a crash that you have caused. You're the first one on the scene, and the last thing you're going to see is a baby's last breath. Do this for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else, a friend, a relative, a mom, a dad, a brother, sister. We have to take charge. We have to be disciplined. This phone has to be powered off.
Texting and other kinds of distracted driving cause needless tragedies every day. No phone call or text is worth someone's life. Visit our website for a free DIY solution that can help you drive safely without distraction. Together, we can achieve our goal of smarter drivers, safer roads.